Hey, sorry guys, live here. Listen, it cut out. My son called me and the phone rang and it cut out alive. I don't know what exactly happened there. But I wanted to share this story. So we had a car impounded, unfortunate situation, but my son was pulled over, didn't have his license. They impounded the car and it was in my ex-wife's name, late ex-wife. And so it was sitting in impound while we tried to hash out this registration issue. So, I just got done reading the book, Never Split the Difference, which is, as I said, was written by an FBI agent that negotiated hostages. And I loved the book because, my whole life I've been negotiating. I'm always thinking, splitting the difference, or if they're at 10,000, you're at 8,000 for a car, you want to get in the middle and it feels like you win, they win, all that stuff. Well, this guy could never, ever split the difference. And this is the basis of his book, is really finding your spot and holding on to it negotiation-wise. And I was like unbelievably, inspired by this book. So anyway, I call this tow company. The balance is $1,900. I call them and I go, hey, listen, would you guys willing to take less? And they go, no, we don't negotiate because if we do, everybody does and all this. And I said, well, we can't afford that much. And frankly, the car's not worth $1,900. Which it is, but it wasn't. In our conversation, we're setting the tee up, right? So I said, listen, I'll give you $800. And he goes, oh, you'll have to talk to my bookkeeper. And long story short, bookkeeper calls me, says $1,000 is our firm number, and we're going to sell it. Looks like it's worth a couple $1,000. So again, I set the stage for my position. I said, I really appreciate where you guys are coming from. I understand that's your number, but my number is $800. And I went away from what the book told me to do. And I said, you know what? Let's split the difference. I'll give you $900. You wanted 1,000. I wanted 800. I went back to what I felt like was my normal, right? She goes, no, we're not going to take it. I want $1,000. That's all there's to it, or we're going to sell it at auction in a week or so. I go, okay, I'll call you back. But, I don't think my boys want to do that. I think that 800 was their number. So I hung up, gave it a few minutes for them to think about it as well, for me to think about my strategy. And then I remembered about the book talking about the strategy of never giving into that. So I called them back and I said, hey, what we'd like to do is just get the personal belongings out of the car and let you have the car. So I set the stage for them losing, right? I set that fear of loss in motion. And she goes, oh, really? Over $100? And I go, well, it is what it is. But the bottom line is I thought we gave you our best offer. So she goes, well, let me talk to the boss. So the boss gets on the phone and goes, all right, we'll take the $900. And this is an absolute true story. I promise you. I go, that offer's off the table. I'm not, nothing personal, but 800 was our top number. And I was just trying to really do the best we could. But 800's our number. So if you're willing to take 800, we'll come down right away and get the vehicle. And then I reinforced what his expenses are. I said, you probably have $100 in towing and the storage costs you nothing, but you still have a business to run. And he goes, what happened to $900? And I said, I'm sorry, but I spoke out of turn with the bookkeeper. I was trying to make this work, but clearly we're at, opposite ends of the spectrum. He goes, well, I'll take $900. I said, I appreciate that, but I'm going to hold firm with my 800. So what's your address so I can come up, pick up the belongings in the car? And he goes, you're seriously going to let this car go to auction over $100? I said, $100, $1 million, it's all the same if it's over a number that we're comfortable with. And frankly, I think that's a good number and a fair number for you guys. He goes, all right, then we'll just take it to auction because I booked it out. We could sell it for $3,000. And I said, I appreciate that, but I don't think you understand all the conditions of the car, the tranny and all these other issues. And he goes, what do you mean? I didn't know there was issues with the tranny. And I said, I appreciate you're trying to, recover your expenses, but there's other things that we're familiar with. And the guy said, he goes, well, okay, all right. I don't want to have to sell it. And, he's trying to do the right thing. He goes, I'll take the $900, take it or leave it. And I said, I'm going to pass on it. 800 is my firm number. But again, and the book talks about saying it in a downward reflection, which I didn't understand at the time, but it's a tonality that allows you to kind of step it down a little bit to come to their terms and show compassion and empathy. So I go, and I'll try to do this in my best radio voice, but I go, sir, I really do appreciate what you're doing here, and I do appreciate your kindness. 800 is our number. And if you're willing to come